Now you should be able to see me and hear me. We're gonna get started very shortly. So this is obviously like a slightly different setup to what we usually do. Hello, Theo. Hello, Ralph as well. They're both around. We're going Mario time. We're gonna get a lot of Mario time today. It's gonna be, in fact, it's gonna be all Mario time because right here you can see a little bit of it, but here is my entire Mario collection. Entire stream of Mario time. What I'm gonna do, because I want to have the Mario time channel point reward still going, but I'll let people decide a specific item that they want to see, or if they have like a request or something, then I'll try to find something that's similar to it. I'm going to get started in a couple of minutes, make sure the people are coming in, and it's going to take us a little while, I think. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Obviously it's a different setup from before. So I'm going to, so I've got my microphone here, it might need a little bit of boosting, let me know if you can't really hear me. I also need to have a fan on because it is extremely warm here today. I think it's 25 degrees again. That is very warm for the UK. So I am sweaty. If that gets too noisy, I will turn it off, or I'll at least turn it down a little bit. So I'm going to try to do this as well as possible. And I'm really hoping that this is going to be interesting. I did this once before, a long time ago. A long time ago. This is probably about 3 years ago now. Did this whole stream, and that was the last time that this collection was cleaned. So it is in desperate need of a little bit of TLC. So I'm super excited. I hope this is going to be interesting for you. I think this is going to be like a nice chill hangout stream. The cats are around because they're curious about why I've set everything up. Theo is currently sniffing the mic. I've got some ice water. I didn't freeze enough ice, so I'm going to run out of ice water. But hopefully it'll be okay. This is probably going to take about 2 hours to get through this whole thing, and obviously I'm going to be talking about each item, and I'll talk about all kinds of stuff. If you want me to give any hot takes on Mario stuff. What are you drinking my water for? You have your own fountain of water to drink. Well, it's better than you drinking stuff out of the sink, at least. So hello to everyone who's already watching. Thank you. Yeah, I've got a few Mario shirts. This is probably my favorite. This is the one that fits me the best. I can show you some of those as well if at any point you do want me to show. I've also got, I should show you, I've also got Mario pajama bottoms. Yay! This is not a very flattering angle for me. I've tried to replicate as much as possible. Also, the light in here is not great because you can see I've got a big window right here and there is no light coming from that side of the room. So that is why I look really horrible. That should be fine though, because we're going to be switching it down and I'm going to be pointing the camera down on the table for when I'm showing off all this stuff. So yeah, we'll get started. I think we can leave it for 2 minutes and then we'll go over to the proper one. A Mario shirt tool is a great idea. Yeah, I'll you know what? At some point I'm gonna need to take a quick break to get more drinks and stuff, so at that point I'll go and fetch some of my Mario themed clothes. Nothing that exciting to be honest, but it might be fun to show you. Mario 3 is my favorite Mario console game, but I'm still super mad at Mario for being taken off. I mean, yeah, that is the shittest thing. It is so shit. Nintendo, I love a lot of Nintendo properties. I have a deep emotional connection to Mario specifically, and to Zelda, to be fair, but Mario specifically. But that company fucking sucks a lot of the time, and I'm not gonna mince words about that. They suck, and that is a dumb decision. Why take it off? It was because, and here's the thing. We're gonna get into this, but let's let's get into this really quickly. Nintendo act as if they are a toy company, and with all this like stupid manufactured scarcity and everything, we're gonna get to that because we're gonna talk about amiibos. And that is a prime example of what I'm talking about. But actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to, because I don't have my stream deck with me, it didn't reach all the way over here, so I'm gonna just walk over there right now, and I'm gonna put us over to Mario time. I'm going to swoop down here and I'm going to say that it is time. If you didn't see, oh my god, Theo. It is in fact time to show you my entire collection of Mario shit, because it needs to be cleaned and it's boring to do that by myself, so I'm going to make you watch. Hopefully that's going to be a fun time. It's going to be at least a chill hangout time. But in order for me to do that, I need to move the camera a bit. Theo is going to be all sorts of messing this up. So I'm going to temporarily... You can see him, the little gremlin. You be nice. Nice. You're a little goblin. They could have even monetized it. They could have done a lot of stuff to make a lot of money, and that would be very clever for them, but they decided not to. Oh, also you can see Ralph is hiding down there. No, can you not? You're not actually going to see a lot of me this time. Grateful for. Why is it so blue? Need to white balance. There we go. Not a toy, Theo. It's not a toy. Okay, so if I... That's probably about right, isn't it? And then I'll show you things like this, and then I'll clean it over here. Okay, yeah, no, this will work, I think. And I'm gonna bring up the chat on my phone. Is the mic sound okay? Because obviously this is in a different... I'll put him up like that. Obviously it's in a different position and everything, so let me know if I need to move the mic around, if there are any disturbing noise and stuff, because I'm not going to be able to hear it, because I don't have my headphones on. So please bear with me as we're getting this working. And can I please see my own channel? That would be very helpful. Thank you very much. See if I can see. And to even play, you have to have a Nintendo subscription and to know like. Yes, I mean, yeah, it sucks. It's bad. Everything to do with Nintendo's online stuff is, as a rule, always going to be bad and wrong. And we are going to talk about that. I really hate that the white balance is off. I'm going to see if I can fix it. Give me 1 second, please. Can I please do that? Oh, that is looking okay. Yes. Sounds good. Gremlin cam. It is indeed Gremlin cam. So I think... How about we just get started? Oh, and also I've got music on in the background. You should be able to hear some Mario music. So please do let me know if... I'm gonna move this a little bit. Right now... I'm not seeing... Very helpful for me if I can see this. Hopefully, let me break. You're falling down. You are falling down. No, stop biting the cord. There we go. I think that's relatively stable. If I even move it slightly over. Yeah, there we go. So then now here's my space. Be aware of my space where you can see my hands. Okay, so let's see if this how this is gonna go. I'm gonna take a quick slurp, and we're gonna get started. So I've got I haven't got stupidly I didn't buy enough cleaning materials, but I've got some here. This should be enough because I'm not putting a lot on each thing, and I've got some stuff, some cloth, and I've got some paper as well, so we can use all kinds of junk. So I'm going to but to be these first few ones Actually, no, I think I'll use this. So thank you everyone so much for joining today. I think this should be a good time. So this first one, this is one that I really loved, and I'll show them to you here. It would be nice if you focus. This is always the problem with Mario Time, is that we never get focus on stuff. But this is really heavy. You can hear it's got a lot of weight to it, because I think these are made to be paperweights. I have a matching Luigi one, which we'll get to. But this one, I really like this one. It has a really nice modeling, and we all know that I love those. Really on model, based on a render. It would actually be cool. I should have thought that. I should have got all the renders so I could do a comparison. But this is a generic standard render. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy this, because that's basically what this is just going to be. It's just going to be me talking about my collection. So this one just needs to be dusted. I don't think there's anything. It's just a little bit wrong with it. It's just a. Get him. He's got, the thing about these is that the better the mold is, you got more details. For example, so you can see on his back here, on his dungarees. Can you please focus? Maybe I should set it to have a standard focus, because is this going to be reading the background on this? Unfortunately, I was hoping that it was going to. I do wonder if I can. No, that's not gonna work. But yeah, you can see he's got like these little stripes here, they're representing the stitches. Those actually make it a little bit trickier, because dust gets caught in those. So you have to be a little bit. The better the model, the harder they can be to clean. Why does Nintendo refuse to sell their back catalog of games? Yes, well, yeah. The thing about, and this is an issue I have with all of these mini consoles that are quite popular, and obviously I get the popularity. I even own a mini SNES. Where do I actually put these? I didn't think of that. They can go. They'll just go next to. I'll move my big boy Mario. You'll have to go down here, next to Kirby. So I'll put these next to me. Now an issue is with the mini consoles is I feel like I'm Ashens when I do this. With the mini consoles is that they basically are just a bit of plastic around an SD card, right? They've just got a couple of got an emulator and a couple of ROMs in an SD card, and then they make it look like the actual console, and then you just use a USB to play it on a TV. Which is why it's so annoying that why do those SD cards only include like 30 to 40 games? If you wanted to make a classic SNES mini console thing, you could put the entire library of Super Nintendo games. You could put every single NES game. You could put every single regional variation of all of the games onto an SD card, and you wouldn't even be close to filling it up. So why are you just gatekeeping it and making it so that you're only including like the most popular games anyway? Because there's so many games. There's so many great SNES games. Right, here's one that I actually need to clean a lot, because this is a very recent one. I bought this last month in Canada. It is a great little figure. I love this figure. Because it was very cheap, but it was still very well made. I really hated that. There we go. Very true to the model. I believe that this is a 3D world render that it's based on. But it's a very cute pose. I like when these poses are very lifelike. Mario gets to show his personality properly. And this is also a recurring theme of Mario being propped up through his ass. Because yes, he does stand. You have a little thingy that goes right up his bum, and then he stands like that. So this one I'm not gonna clean, because he's so new, he hasn't gathered any dust on it. There's gonna be more of those. We're gonna have a lot more butt stuff on this stream. Don't you worry. This one, another good one. This is a posable one. I don't have a ton of posable ones. But this one has got a little bit of movement. You can move his hands, you can move his arms. You've got a couple of different joints here, so you can pose him in a couple of different ways. I'm honestly not too fussed about them being posable. I quite like them when they're just the same, because obviously to add the posing you have to add all the joints and stuff. Ralph, for the love of God. You have to add all the joints and stuff, which I prefer them to be model accurate rather than having that, but also it can be nice to have both. So I think this one is a little bit grimier, so I might need a squirt. A little squirt on this one. I get all nice and... Do we have a... Oh, his face is a little mucky too. Yeah, the cats they're annoyed by the wires, so they keep attacking the wires. I feel like this isn't where this angle might have to shift, because I have to lean over quite a bit to reach the camera. Maybe if I... I'm gonna try something. I don't know if this will work, but let's... Wait, sorry. But a moment. Move this out of the way. That's further down. But now you can see the whole thing, and yeah, I can show it to you like this instead. It's still not going to focus, but you'll still be able to see a little bit better. Okay, I think we'll do this, because I still have to lean, but not as much. Oh, let's see. It's getting close. There we go. I think we'll try that. Try that. The annoying thing is that it means that I can't see you, so let me... Okay. Alright, this wouldn't have been a problem, Theo. Weren't in the way. Like that. Going, yes. Now I can see you. You can see me, and you can also see all this stuff. You can see my water. So yeah, basically I think this one is mostly gonna be in the joints that I have to up. Oh, and you can see the stream on here. Right, I think you're pretty good. You weren't too bad. There's a little bit on your face mostly. Right, we're gonna have to speed these up. A couple of quick ones. The stress balls. I love these ones. I got these. I believe I got these from my siblings. Love these little stress balls. This is mainly miscolored. I don't really know if I can do anything about that. I'm just gonna give it a quick wipe. And then the shy guy as well. I think just, yes, got a little bit of rot on him. Not too bad. This one I definitely got from my siblings. This was the... this is an interesting one. I don't really know. Because this is a... I got a couple of Happy Meal toys. Now, I actually do want to get more of these, because the Mario Happy Meal toys are usually really good, and they're quite interesting a lot of the time. I don't know what the point of this is. Because it got Mario sitting on a thing. Now, this is sort of based on an actual render, which wasn't for a specific game, but there is one of Mario sitting on a block like this, in basically this pose. But it has a feature where there's a button on the back. You can see that there. But it's broken, and I think it's meant to just make his arm go, but it's not working. So, because the button can't be pressed. So it's a broken thing. But I love this because this is very different. This is very different from any of the other figures that I have. You very rarely get renders or toys of Mario sitting, which is funny, because his model isn't really meant to do it. So it looks a little bit weird. There's a king on his throne, indeed. I think he's supposed to wave, yeah. I think he's supposed to do that, but it looks like even if it worked, It would look kind of weird. And he's got his other arm out as well, which is weird. But you're looking pretty good too. So let's pop you back there. And like I said, if you want to use the Mario Time channel points reward, I'll show you a specific one, even one that I've shown before, if you missed it. Now, I did actually lie a little bit because this is Mario Time, but I do also have other Nintendo stuff, including this very cute Kirby with a rice ball that I find very sweet. Not the rice ball, but the Kirby. I love this little... I think this is a blind bag thing. I got this in a blind bag a couple of years ago, I think. But the good thing about Kirby is that the Kirby design is so good that it's so simple. It's always gonna work. So all these, you can get like really cheap toys and they're still gonna look amazing because it's Kirby. And Kirby has got a little stand. I don't know if I can find that now. Here it is, yeah, it's just like a tiny little stand. And then you just put the little ball on top like that. And you can pose him. You can put him upside down if you want. Put him any which way. Actually, I should clean that too. And the stand's got his name on it as well. So you go here. Now, how about some Luigi? One of the things you don't get too much of, which I wish you did, is the brothers with their powers activated. And here's a fireball Luigi that I quite like, and it's like a little belt clip. Not belt clip, it's a bag clip. Baby boy. Goddamn, Kirby's always happy. Kirby's friend-shaped. Are you doing okay down there? I can hear you messing around. I like this one because it's a pretty decent Luigi. Like, it's not great on the painting, but also it's a really cheap plasticky thing. Don't expect too much. I'll put that. Can you please? I don't know why it's so bad for this. I think maybe I need to go and set... I don't know if I can do, but maybe I need to set like a proper focus. That's going to be more annoying, I think, in the long term. But anyways, it's a pretty good one. But you can see like this, it's sort of cheaply made around his face. But not too bad for the amount. I bought this at a... I bought this at Birmingham Comic Con a couple of years ago. Yeah, and this is the thing. I love the dynamic poses, and this is very well done. The dynamic poses are not always amazing because they require just a more complicated mold. But this one has a lot of the attention to detail that I like, so it's not bad. A couple of small ones. Let's do a couple of quick ones. Tiny little Shy Guy that I love. I love the Shy Guys. Yeah, you're quite bad. Let me get a little bit more. No, I've got enough, I think. There we go. Looking a lot better. You got a little bit. I have to scrub a bit on his face. Yeah, I love the Shy Guy as well. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Gosh. Look at his little face. Love a Shy Guy. Again, like, a lot of the reason why I like these, why I specifically gravitate towards Nintendo stuff, and specifically the Mario stuff, is that the designs are so... they're so timeless, they're so simple, like it's genius character design all around. Here's a fun little toy, and I don't know if this might be another McDonald's toy. Yes, it is. A red shell, which I'll show like that, which has wheels on it. So it's meant to do that. It doesn't really work, especially not on here. Maybe on here. There we go. Sort of. Again, I love the little McDonald's toys. I need to buy more of these. I definitely need to... I for sure need to go on eBay and find more of them. I would say there are 3 primary series of Mario toys that I love. The Happy Meal ones, I need to get more of them because they're usually really good, even though they're cheaply made, obviously, because they're mass produced in a completely different way than other toys. Then you have the Jax one. We're going to get to a couple of the Jax ones. Actually, let me look at a Jax one now. This is one of my favorites, and it's a perfect example of why. This is a Jax specific one. This was made in... It doesn't say. Oh, it doesn't say. But they make a lot of Mario toys, and they are fantastic. They always have good poses. They always have really good molds. This one isn't even based on a render, but it looks like it should be. This is such a good pose. I love how he looks here. The music is a lot loud. Okay, I can turn the music down a little bit. Maybe you just kind of want it to be in the background. So how about that? Hopefully that'll sound better. Yeah, such a good expression. Like, this feels like it should be based on a render, but I have not seen this render, and if I haven't seen it, it doesn't exist. I can pretty much promise you that that's the case. But it's a lovely expression, lovely pose, and it's so well made. God, like, you look at like all the detail on his face. Please focus. You don't want to see that in the video. There we go. Look at that. On his overalls and everything, and he's got such a... Oh, they got his body like perfect. And then on his back though, got all that detail. I wish that wasn't right on his butt. But from every other angle, fantastic figures. I love the Jack stuff. Jacks are great. What now? I want to do... We'll do a small one. I think this is a... There's another... No, I don't actually remember where this is from. Oh no, I do know where this is from. This is from one of those sets of multiple tiny figures that I got, and these ones are not generally very well made, very well painted, but I got it very cheap. I don't generally buy stuff just if they're cheap, like if they're available. Like, I usually just stick to the ones that I like. Can you, please? I wish I had a button that I could like fix the focus on, because it really doesn't seem to like it. What if I just put you like that? There we go. You can see here like it's kind of sloppily painted. The mold isn't fantastic. Like, the expression doesn't really look great. Like, the M isn't quite right. But it's not terrible, and it was very cheap. I think I got this in a set of 6 figures for £5, which is really not bad. I'm not going to spend too much time on you because you don't look fantastic. Now, let's do this one. Ooh, this is one that I got fairly recently. This is actually part of a set. So we have, first of all, we have the flag, which is actually movable. It's not very smooth. You can actually move that down. It's not very smooth, actually. You have to kind of crank it. And you've got a also movable pipe. But that is, again, not the smoothest thing in the world. You have to you can't really play with these. You're basically just setting them into a position. But the point here is that you can put this little Mario down, and then you make it pop out. There you go. But really, you're just deciding to put him in the thing. Now, I like this. The reason I like this is because this model is very good. This is a model, specifically figure that is reused a lot. Like, you see this. I believe this is part of this set, but you can also get it as part of different other play sets with Mario. It's not a bad figure. It's also not fantastic. I would say this is like a properly middle of the road type figure. Not a great pose, not fantastically made, but I'm happy to have it. And you're actually looking pretty good. I don't think I need to really do much to you, but I'm going to do the base on this. Those chunky cheeks. Yeah, it does have very chunky cheeks. So you get that right. Gets plus point for that. Now, I'm going to say, and I don't mean for this to sound weird, although it is, but there are a couple of things that I look at in the figure specifically. Because if you get those things right, it means that they've done a good mold. And to get that, actually, let's find a good example of what I'm talking about. Things that I look for specifically in the Mario figure and also in the Luigi figure. Do we have a good one for this? Yes, this is actually a perfect one. This is one of the, because I mentioned that the Jax ones was ones that I like. This is the, I believe this is called the Funicom, but it's a UDL, it's an ultra detail figure. And these are great. They've only done a couple of Nintendo ones. They did a series. They did 2 series of Zelda ones, where they had a couple of different links, and then they did 2 series of Mario ones. Sorry, I need a drink. They're called ultra detail figures because the detail on this is perfect. This is a perfect figure. They are perfectly replicating this pose. It is everything about this is amazing. It's a little bit maybe, but nothing you would notice unless you were like going down with a magnifying glass. But look at all of that. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Chad chin buns. Now, a couple of things that I want them to get. I want him to get the expressions right. I want him to look like Mario. What are you doing? They don't like any changes. Why? But I want him to get the belly right, and I want them to get the butt right. And the reason for that is it's not solely because I'm a weird pervert, but it is because if you get those right, then that means that you followed the renders, because the renders always has those 2 things. He always has a big chunky belly. He always has a big dump truck ass. Go and look at any render and you'll see that. And that is because I want them to be render accurate. I can say this a million times. I want it to be render accurate. Shut up in the chat. I don't want to hear it. Also, this is another instance of, speaking of butt, it's another instance of the butt being how this attaches. And this is actually a little bit better because you have to properly squeeze it in. But we're going to clean this one real good. It deserves to be all nice and well kept. I think there's a little bit here actually on my, if I go. Oh gosh, my hair's falling in my face. I think. See, here's a problem though with stuff like this. If you look at it, his mouth is actually modeled. They're not always modeled. Let me please. But you can see, there you go. You can see that his mouth actually is modeled. That's the trap. He doesn't have much of a butt though. I beg to differ. My friend. Very shapely, it's not big. I mean, okay, but I mean, that also does depend a little bit on the render. But we're gonna get to some. We're gonna get to some. I mean, this is the thing, like, for real though. I do make butt jokes about Mario a fair bit. But it is interesting that, and actually it is a key characteristic, because the fact that he butt stomps things is an integral part of the character and has been from literally the very first game. Oh, and you got to do the base as well. Get that properly done, yeah, and then you go right in there. We'll do another one for our boy Luigi, because we did the now this is the Luigi version of this one. This is the equivalent one. Now I like the Luigi one a little bit less because his model isn't as accurate. He's a little bit taller than he should be. The proportions aren't quite right on this one. But this is still a very nice one, and I like they have a different base, so he has a heavy pipe instead. Speaking of his wife, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have thought about doing there was actually a request a little while ago. I think it was Manuel who requested a little while ago that I actually play some Mario games on the stream. So at some point I want to do that. Might play Super Mario All Stars or something. That could be fun. It's been a long time since I played those again. All those games I think have probably aged really, really well. There you go. You're all done. You're all done. Let's do some amiibos, because I have a lot of stuff that isn't specifically Mario related, but let's blow through some of those, because I have less to talk about with those. So let's just do a general amiibo section. We'll do a couple of these. So first we have Ness, specifically the one from Smash, but obviously originally from Earthbound. A game that I have played and not finished. Which is weird, seeing as how I am a big slut for Undertale. But amiibos in general, and all the things that I'm going to say about amiibos are going to apply to every single one of these, so we might as well do them all in one go, is that they all have extremely good modeling. They're all very well done. They all have so much detail. This one is a little bit, I don't know, I might want to a little bit of cleaning fluid on that, because it's actually quite discolored. They're all extremely well made. They're really, I love amiibo so much. And Nintendo pulled a lot of shitty Nintendo stuff with them, making them almost impossible to buy, making them in very limited quantities, especially like the really nice ones, making it very difficult to get the ones you really wanted. And making it so that scalpers made a ton of money reselling them at a significantly inflated cost. God, you are in a bad mood. Maybe I should need to get into, like, because this is like, you'll get into all the crevices on this one. That is hard. Of this being so well detailed and amazing. So basically, yeah, Nintendo released a thing that was they were really well made. They were really reasonably priced. They were cool. Everyone loved them. And then they basically shot themselves in the leg and made it so that no one wanted to buy them. Bear in mind that amiibos were floundering at the same time that Funko Pops were kind of hitting their stride. And they cost about the same. Amiibos are better. They have a functional use. They're much better made. And they cost the same. A Funko Pop cost about as much as an amiibo at the time. And still, they didn't put out enough amiibos, so the Funko Pops became this big thing. And Nintendo weren't capitalizing on the fact at all. It's so frustrating. We could have had so many cool amiibos. Like, imagine if amiibos had really broken through, like, and become this, like, really big thing that everyone wanted to collect. Obviously now you still have collectors, but it's much more niche. And you could have had all these cool, like, much more niche Nintendo games that could have been gone amiibo releases and stuff. This is a cool Bowser one. This is the Smash one. I refused to buy into the amiibo scam, and I bought a full set of RFD. I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. Kind of a problem with the whole amiibo thing is that they wanted it to be a functional thing, but they also didn't want people to rely on them. So they sold them as this big thing, like, oh, you get like extra features if you buy amiibos, but then they couldn't obviously offer anything substantive. The A time to find the one you want to beat them and actually get into this. I mean, that is true. I just mean, like, if you are going to go into the collector market, which is what they were clearly trying to do, they did it in such a piss poor way of just, like, not offering. They half-assed every single aspect of it, apart from the actual figures, which are great. Look at all the fucking detail on this boy. Look at his scales. His shell, like, all it is so well made. That is exactly true. Like, there were certain things that you absolutely would not have gotten figures for otherwise, and it would have been much more expensive. Um, gosh, your hair is horrible to clean. I'm trying to get... He's got his big red hair and it's so detailed. Look at that. If you can, you're not gonna be able to see that, but it is very, very detailed. And it makes it very hard to clean. I'm gonna have to get a little bit of spritz of this on it, I think. Show us the shell again. Yes, will do. Very well made, so detailed. This guy's back as well. I don't think I can get this perfectly clean because I don't have like... I should have gotten like some pipe cleaners or something. That's what I'm realizing. They're clearly going for like a slightly more adult market with these. Obviously with the details. But also because this is like sharp. Like it's closer actually. All of this is quite... You could hurt yourself now. For sure. Yeah, I don't have any cotton balls. Should have got... Why didn't I get Q-tips? That was very foolish of me. I didn't think at all. No, I didn't plan this at all. And the thing is, I did plan it. I just didn't think of any of the things I would actually need to get. But to be fair, I don't need these to be perfect. I just need them to not get properly damaged. Yeah, sometimes they do hate money. But really, Nintendo just has an issue with not properly committing to things. And the things they commit to are generally the wrong things they commit to. I mean, look at everything, like most of the things that they've done in the past 15 years. Like they'll keep doing these things, like the 3DS, for example. Great console, but they didn't really commit to the 3D thing, even though that was the whole point. You doing better? You doing better? KK, my beloved KK. You actually, your tail's a little bit messy. A little bit of discoloration on this, unfortunately. But we're getting some of it off. Looking a lot more healthy now. There we go. There we go. I think a little bit on your back as well. There. Oh no, your ear. I think your ear. That's looking a lot better. So now I do have opinions on the amiibos. Here we got another Kirby, another Corb, Boy. They're easy to clean at least. It's like polishing a ball. I love the NDS and the 3DS. 100% approved clamshell portable designs. Yes, I agree. I agree. Clamshells are really handy. I love the Switch too, don't get me wrong, but I do miss when there was when Nintendo had a home console and a handheld console. I mean, the Switch is positive. It's good that it works as both, but it also kind of means that they can't really focus on either. They can't do stuff that's just good for the home and stuff that's just good for the handheld. Everything kind of has to be both. I've got this boy. I love the way that this boy dresses. I love this boy in general. Big Transmascan energy, would you agree? I don't know, I get that vibe. There you go. Oh gosh, you have like a... Oh, that's a proper little space. It's gonna be difficult to get, but I'm gonna get it. Yeah, it's the fashion skunk. Hello, the fashion skunk. No. We've got more amiibos. Yes, we do. We've got some Inklings. That is fitting, isn't it? Now, these are actually some of my favorite amiibos. Because these are so well made. Hello, you. Why are you playing with my cleaning supplies? The detail on these ones are absolutely off the charts amazing. They've modeled the actual ink in the tank. You can just barely see that. But it's such a cool little features. Oh, you have Figmas. Hey, I'm not surprised. But I also love that the base is like they've got a bespoke base, which is really cool. That was another nice little touch on these. It's so well made. Gosh. Yeah, I love them. I love these so much. Because there are so many ways that they could have cut corners on these figures. Like, they didn't need to model the ink on the base. But it actually is like a little three-dimensional little blob of orange ink or orange gel. What do you say? It's ink, isn't it? Gotta be ink. It's the only thing that makes sense. I need to play Splatoon again. It's so good. It's good. You get... Come on. Oh, these are difficult to clean. I forgot how finicky these can be. Got stuff on your base as well. Right, I'll call that one done. More Animal Crossing. Got more Splatoon ones coming up as well, as long as I find one. But I'm just kind of grabbing the first ones that are close to me. So this is Celeste. Not the game. Not the owl. Game under your thingy. Might need a... Oh, Ralph, you're tearing up my paper. Oh. Have to move that up here, I think. Oh, the owl, indeed. Yeah, it's been a while now since we had a really good Mario announcement. I'm gonna see if I can fix the white balance again because it's starting to annoy. One sec. One sec. That's the difficult thing about having my my PC on the other side of the room. Yeah, I've always loved it. I think the new Animal Crossing, I have my issues with it. I wrote a thing a couple of years ago about my problems with the game, and I think it's not done a great job of implementing a lot of the old characters. And I think specifically because they wanted to have all this I don't know, annoying on like I just don't think that game was thought out as well. They were trying to shoehorn in a lot of good mechanics into like a bad framework, and I just don't think it. I think it doesn't succeed as well. Oh no, you're very mucky on the top of your head there. Let me see if I can do a good scrub. Odyssey 2, yeah, like I don't understand why they haven't done at least a little bit of DLC for Odyssey. I mean, they kind of did with the Labo stuff, I guess, but that's another thing that Nintendo just didn't really commit to. They just released it and everyone loved it. I was like, oh, we're done now. Not doing that again. There we go. Only got a little bit on your face. Yeah, the multiplayer was good. I did enjoy that, but they had that in New Leaf. I've got more. Yeah, more Animal Crossing. Here we go. This one is going to be fun to clean because look at all those spikes. Why didn't I get Q-tips? I need Q-tips anyway. I need them just in general, and I didn't think to get some for this. That is very stupid. I might actually have to re-clean these. Get Q-tips and clean them again. So I just get the worst of it off. It really was made a multiplayer in mind, and I think they had to shoehorn in all the other stuff in a way that I don't think really works. I just think, and this is the thing, I'm going to reiterate an article I wrote. And the headline for that article was, I wish Animal Crossing New Horizons made me feel sadder. And I do think that that is true, because I think that at the heart of Animal Crossing, from the very beginning, has been a kind of a sense of melancholy. And I think that that has worked in that game's favor. I think it's given it a little bit of an emotional depth that has served that series really well, and I think it's a part of why people respond so well to it. I think, for example, Stardew Valley is doing a similar thing, where it actually it's not afraid to really let you feel kind of sad at times. Animal Crossing did that very well, and I think this game they've dropped it because they don't want the game to rub against the players. It's a very player-focused thing. It's very focused on creation. It's focused on the crafting and like making your island and everything. And I believe that the original Animal Crossing games, all the way up to New Leaf, and even though New Leaf added some user-friendly, more user-friendly mechanics, but I do believe that they were inherently about... Hello, you. They were inherently about making a space for yourself in an existing world. And I think this new one is all about make your own world. Make the world exactly as you wanted. You get to pick everything. You get to pick the villagers. You get to pick how everything looks. You get to design everything. You get to design how the furniture looks. You get to design all your clothes. Everything you do exactly however you want it to be. The world is completely for you to mold in your image. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, because that a lot of people love it. It just isn't what I got into Animal Crossing for. Animal Crossing for me was always about you arrive at a place that exists beyond you. Time doesn't stop when you stop the game. Everything continues without you. And you make your own space in there. You get to know everyone. You get to have a little bit of customization on everything. You get to make your own house and all that stuff. But ultimately, you're finding community. And I think New Horizons, if I'm gonna get in on this, I mean, New Horizons is all about player expression. That is not wrong. It's a hugely popular game, but I think Animal Crossing misses something when it doesn't let you feel that sense of isolation to begin with, because then it transitions into feeling like you're creating a new life. It's a new leaf. Hello, you. For a lot of people, it's the only Animal Crossing they played or liked. Yeah, I think so. I think that's the thing, like, the old games used to have, like, shitty villagers. You used to have, like, villagers that you didn't like. You used to have villagers that were mean to you, said horrible things to you. But it was like, but it wasn't up to you, because it's not up to you, like, what other people are like, necessarily. You just survive around them. Got a couple more amiibos, so let's do another Splatoon one. This one I also love, because you got a sparkly dress. And I think it is the thing, like, they want Animal Crossing to be a flagship franchise in the same way that Mario, Zelda, and Metroid are. And if you do that, then you have to kind of... You have to clean it up a little bit. You have to make it more palatable to the general audience. And the general audience aren't going to like a game that is as laid back as I think the older Animal Crossing games were. But I think that they lose something in the transfer. I love these figures. God, they're so good. Like, look at that pose. I love these. Give you proper... I might actually have to do the Splatoon ones again. Because they're very detailed. More Animal Crossing. Let's go. One of my favorites. Animal Crossing. It's the other owl. I do love Blathers so much. Blathers also has, you know who Blathers reminds me of? This is a reference that not everyone's gonna get. But Blathers reminds me of J. Hume. If you know who J. Hume is, if you follow J. Hume on Twitter, you know what I mean. Blathers reminds me of J. Hume. And I mean that in the best possible way. Sushi Girl, hell yeah, I love Sushi Girl. That's such a good name for her. You're easy to clean, thank you. I got some more amiibos. Let's go back to some more stuff. We got a Luigi amiibo. Very basic. This is like proper standard amiibo stuff, but he gets... If we're gonna talk about my criteria earlier, he's got his nice little teardrop shaped belly. He's got a little bit of junk in the trunk. Not very shapely. Interview from Yoshi's Island make people sad, happy, nostalgic. Yeah! Nintendo is always the best when they have a layer of melancholy in them. Because they're all like, even like the Zelda games, like Breath of the Wild is my personal favorite Zelda game, along with Wind Waker. And I think it's because it leans into that sense. Oh, your hand is very dirty. Let me see if I can scrub that out. I'll do a technical check now because we got a couple of people. We've been going for a little while. We've gone for about an hour. Gosh, okay, we need to speed up a little bit. More Splatoon. It's the boy this time. Is everything sounding okay? You can hear the music. You can hear me talking nonsense. Again, I love that the tank actually has molded liquid in it. It would be cool if it was real liquid. Liquid, but it's got like actual little stuff in it, which I think is really... Again, that's a thing they could easily have half-assed that on. But they didn't. They went all the way. They designed these properly. And it looks great. And also look how you get all these like different textures and stuff. Like his texture on his face and on his hair are different. So you get like that kind of inky sheen on his hair. That contrasts with his face. And that's completely different to the tank here, which has got like a slightly more... It's got a different luster to it. Like that kind of stuff, like they didn't half-ass these. They went all the way with their designs, and then they decided to just not sell them properly, so that people could get them. Him dusty, yeah, he's dusty. He's very dusty. I'm rectifying that now, though. Yeah, what's the best Zelda game and what's the best Mario game? Pank already said Mario 3. Totally valid choice. Let's do another boy. This is a very dusty boy. Look how dusty he is. That's a little guy. I'm gonna say my favorite Zelda games are probably... Now, Link to the Past is for nostalgia because that was the first one I played. Actually, I did play the first two, I think, but it was the first one that I properly finished all the way through. And then I'm going to say Wind Waker, and I'm going to say Breath of the Wild. I know those aren't particularly hot takes, they're pretty common favorites, but I do think that if I was going to say to someone, if someone came to me and said, what Zelda games should I play? I would say those. I did play the new Link's Awakening when I was in Canada. The remake, and that's a really good remake, but I personally think the Link's Awakening is a little overrated. It is one of the better... I think it is one of the best Zelda games, but I think people kind of... Because Link's Awakening is I think is just as good as A Link to the Past, and I think A Link to the Past is great, but people talk about it as if it's significantly better. Now, I've always also felt that the Nintendo 64 ones are a little bit overrated, which I think is kind of a hot take. Speaking of which, here's our boy from Ocarina of Time. Or this might be Majora's Mask, actually. I don't know I can't remember which one this is from. This might be Majora, actually. I mean, I know they're the same Link, but I think the render is Majora. Haven't played a lot of Zelda, but I think you've probably absorbed a lot for osmosis. Twilight Princess was the first one I fully beat. Ooh, interesting. Now I think Twilight Princess is underrated, actually. Now this is one of my favorite amiibos, I think, in general, because pose is so good. Again, a lot of detail there. A lot of detail on his sword and everything. A lot of detail. Like, look how well the clothes are rendered. Like, just like all the little folds. Like, it's such a dynamic pose. And you can see there, like, if you look at the bottom of his tunic, if I can get that to properly... You see, like, how all the folds mid-motion, like, it's all captured so well. Oh, is that Ocarina of Time? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for double checking. Because I had one... Because they released... this series that this is from, they released from a couple of different games at the same time. And it was Ocarina, and it was Majora, and I think Twilight Princess. So I thought that, like, it would make sense for the adult Link to have been the one from Ocarina, and then the young Link would be from Majora, because obviously you don't have adult Link in Majora. More Animal Crossing amiibos. Let's get through this pretty quickly, because we've talked a lot about amiibos. I don't have a ton more to say about these specific ones. But thank you for confirming. Thank you for keeping me honest. You're easy to clean. You're doing pretty good already. This is a cool little amiibo. This is the 30th anniversary, which is funny now. But this was the 30th anniversary. But I like this one. This is cool. Again, this would hurt a child very easily, because this one is also very heavy. It's actually very, very heavy. Much heavier than the other amiibos. And yours is going to be a fucking pain to clean. Thankfully, you're not too bad. I like the small open world in Ocarina. These worlds don't get made. Yeah, that's true. That kind of like is that Ocarina really just follows the template of A Link to the Past in that sense, and which a lot of them is still followed, to be fair. But you have like an open world, and then you have low dungeon areas. I just really love how Nintendo took that formula and turned it into a full open world for Breath of the Wild. I love Breath of the Wild. I have thought about streaming Breath of the Wild, but it would take so long. It's such a big game, and I usually play games that are like 10 hours tops. And I played Breath of the Wild for 100 hours easily. I don't know if anyone would want to watch that, but I fucking love Breath of the Wild so much. There you go. Got a couple more. Let's do all the amiibos. Let's finish off the amiibos all in one go. Another one. This is the latest amiibo I got, and it's Mario as a furry. You can see this is his persona. He's gone with a yellow cat, which is interesting. Interesting that they made Mario yellow as a cat. But he has his fursuit on, as you can see. So Mario furry confirmed. Got cute little. He's got little beans. He's got his little beanies. Some nooks and crannies, indeed. Speaking of nooks and crannies, do I have Tom Nook? I don't have Tom Nook. Oh. This one, again, love the little furry texture. Very well done. Oh, look at his face. I love this boy. And I love that he's a furry. I love that both Link and Mario are confirmed furries. Here's another one. Here's another furry one. It's Peach. Cat Peach. Love this one. You can see we can get their face. There we go. Give you a big scrub as well. I think it's funny what I like about these ones as well, because all the amiibos are based on renders. Every single one is based on a specific render. And obviously the render is two-dimensional, obviously. But they actually get like all the angles really well. So obviously they only have one image to work on. So that's obviously the render from the game. But it doesn't look bad from any angle. Like obviously there's less detail on here. But it still looks good. They still made it work. Because again, I can go on about how good the amiibos are for a long time. But they're good. Another Mario amiibo. This is from Odyssey, obviously. This is the wedding one. I didn't manage to get the Bowser or the Peach wedding outfits, which was a bummer, and now they're pretty much impossible to get unless you buy them from a scalper for £1 million. But I do love this Mario one. I love his shiny suit. Like, it's so shiny. So shiny. I am very excited for Breath of the Wild 2. I am a little bit, I've got to say, I'm a little bit concerned when it comes to Breath of the Wild 2 because it was initially announced as kind of similar to Link's Awakening or Majora's Mask, where it was going to be kind of a sequel that takes the original. Sorry, I've got to have a quick drink. A sequel that uses the original to create like a much faster sequel that they make much more quickly, but it's a little bit more interesting. So Link's Awakening is kind of like this, almost like a deconstruction of A Link to the Past. And Majora's Mask is obviously a much darker, much weirder game than Ocarina of Time, but it was because they didn't have to, they could reuse all the assets, they could reuse all the engine, everything, like they could just use it all again and create something new, so they could focus on making like a more intricate, interesting game. And I think that because Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever it ends up being called, has been in development for so long, I worry that they're going to lose that a little bit. And it's going to become... It's not going to feel special. Because it's been in development for too long, it's too big of a project now. I imagine it could have ballooned. The budget's gone out of the way, and at that point you're going to say like, okay, well, we can't make this a weird, interesting little sequel. This now needs to be a full sequel. But we're reusing all these assets and stuff. So I worry that it's going to be a little bit of a... it's going to be a little underwhelming. I hope not, but... We've got a Calamari Gull here. It's fun because we've got Calamari in the shop. Go. They even got her little beauty spot on her face. You can see that. Cool. Love these. I love these. I think we're almost done with amiibos. We've got a couple more. We've got Shovel Knight. Now this one I'm so happy to get because I love Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight actually is a game that I've considered streaming. Don't know if that's anything that anyone would be interested to see. But I think maybe when I'm done with Hollow Knight, it might be one that maybe we'll go from one night game to another. But this is also a very good figure. And you are very dusty. We're gonna get it all off. Don't you worry. Now, how's everyone doing? We've kind of been chatting about this. I haven't got a lot to say about the amiibo, so while I'm finishing those off, how's everyone been? How's your week been? And how are your weekends going? I'm running out of amiibos. I've got a few more. I've got this one. This one's gonna be hard to clean. This is the pink woolly Yoshi. Which I love. I wish I'd gotten all of these, and I wish I'd gotten the big Yoshi. Again, practically impossible to get now. But this one's even got a little hoop, so you can hang them off stuff. The thing about this is I don't know if I can actually clean this properly. Hang on. Doesn't say, it doesn't give cleaning instructions, so I guess just hand wash. That might be it for the amiibos, actually. Let's do some big ones. We've done mostly small ones. I have a few big boys. Yarnosh is the cutest. I know, he rules. Let's do a few. Let's do two big ones. Now, this one is one of my favorites. This is one of my personal favorite figures. The figure itself isn't very interesting. I think it's a really good, really well made standard plastic figure. Has a little bit of articulation. You can move only his arms very creakily. Nothing special about the model really. I like it. It's a very standard basic model. Again, I didn't pay too much for this in a toy store back in the day, but we're gonna give him, he's a little bit dusty, but he means a lot to me. And the reason it means a lot to me is because of, again, what's on his butt. Because this was the figure that I brought to Birmingham Comic Con a few years ago, where a certain Charles Martinet was signing stuff. And I asked him to sign Mario's butt. You can see there his signature, and he even drew a little Mario on there. Because he was selling the signatures, obviously. And I think it was £30 for a signature, and he was selling them on cards. Like he had like cards of all of these different characters that he voices. So he had Mario, Luigi, Wario, Waluigi, and he also had Parthenax. Is it Parthenax from Skyrim? I can't remember which one. He plays one of the dragons in Skyrim, and he had a few other ones as well. But those were obviously the big ones. But I was like, I don't want a card. I want you to sign this figure. And he was like, oh, well, are you sure you just want that? Are you sure you just want that on the back? You know what I'll do? And he signed, without me asking, he wrote, woohoo, on his shoes. Let me see if we can get that on his... Yeah, you can just sort of see it. And he was so kind and so nice. And like, he was loving being there. And I spoke to a bunch of people who go to more cons than me. And apparently, obviously, because a lot of the people who go on the kind of the con circuit, to appear in a lot of Comic Cons and stuff, a lot of conventions, they obviously, people talk about them because they appear a lot of time. So if you're a regular, then you'll see them a lot. And apparently, the rumor about Charles Martinet, because he goes to cons all the time, is that he is always the nicest person at any given convention. And that was lovely to hear, and it was lovely that I got to experience it live. A wonderful man, and I hope that I get to see him again soon. He seems so great. Did you see that? He was at the Dragon Ball premiere. He did a voice for the new Dragon Ball Z movie, and he was at the premiere, and he had the drip he had was incredible. Let me see. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can find this and show you. Here we go. I love this man. I love this man so much. fucking legend, man. Chris Pratt could never. Right, that's all done with the those ones we were gonna do. So we have the signed one, which obviously means a lot to me. This is one. This might be my favorite. This might be my favorite out of all of them, and it's not Mario. It's Luigi. This is a really robust. This is actually the most expensive figure that I've bought, and I bought this because I really didn't want to lose it. Look how dusty he is. We're gonna take care of that. When I did the last stream, I just bought him. He was literally still in his packaging. I did the unboxing live on stream, I think, even. Hello, SVC. You've missed a little bit, but we still got a lot to go. And if you want to see anything specific, you can use the Mario Time point reward. But this is a really, 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 really well-made big Luigi figure. The detail on this is the best of any figure that I have. If you look, the denim on his overalls is perfectly done. His face, I might even have to put him like that. Look at the detail on his face. Look at his teeth. Individual teeth are all done. The detailing on his vacuum is perfect. Oh, I love this so much. It is the best. So I decided to buy this. I even pre-ordered this, which is rare. I usually try to be thrifty with these. Like, that's my main thing, is I don't want to be spending too much money. I don't want to get into collecting in that sense. So I really only want to buy stuff that I feel comfortable if I get like good deals and stuff. This was a rare exception because I wanted this boy so bad. He looked amazing, and he looks fantastic in person. So this is the most expensive figure that I bought for this collection. I think I paid £50 for him. So that was a little treat for myself. But I think that he was worth every single penny. He's very, very well done. Like even on the little, he's got like a little fan on the back here. Even that's like actually modeled. It would be cool if that actually you could actually spin it. You can't, but it looks like you should be able to. And it looks good from every. This is one of those figures that looks good from every angle as well. You could pose him in any direction, and he looks fucking perfect. I love this boy, and his shoes as well. If I go down and show you his shoes, he's got like really nice shiny shoes, and look at the detailing on his trousers riding up on him. Oh, I love him. Love him so much. Scary mod idea, make Charles Market talk like Mario. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Actually, make it the other way around. Add his Parthenax voice to Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion is so good. I only ever played the first one. I do really want to play... I never played the second one, and I never played the third one, but they're apparently good. Let's go back to some smaller ones. So we had the Jax figure that I was really excited about before. This is the Luigi version of the same from the same series. Also, equally good, I think. Again, not based. The model is or the pose is not based on a specific render. It is a uniquely made one, but it looks great. It looks like it should be. Can you please come on? There we go. Looks great. I love this. It captures. I think if you put these next to each other. See if I can find the Mario equivalent now, because he's going to be right at the bottom of this pile. This pile I'm making. No, where are you? There you go. I'll find it. They get their personalities across so well. Mario's more of an exuberant. It's a more dynamic pose, and Luigi's a little bit more restrained, but still happy, still cheerful. This is what I love about these ones. I want them to look like the characters. I want them to make me feel like the characters do. I've got a few more. This is a good Odyssey one. And you can tell it's an Odyssey one because A, he's got Cappy. We've got another Cappy one coming up later. He's got Cappy, but he's also got the more textured clothes from the Odyssey models. Can you please work? Come on. I think maybe I'll have to put both on. There we go, you can just about see. So obviously the other ones, he usually has this kind of like very plain texture, more cartoony. Which is funny because the model they created for Odyssey is actually more mascot-like, so his head is bigger in proportion to the rest of his body. I think you can actually kind of see that in some of these that are based on actual models. If I can get an example of that. But it's slightly bigger anyway, so he's got kind of more of a mascot-y look to him. But then decided to conversely make his clothes more realistic and his hair more realistic. You can see that on this one as well. But it's got a little cappy, and the cappy is actually, you can actually take the cappy off. I'm not going to do that because I think it's a pain to put him back here, but there we go. Oh, we got another ultra detailed figure. I did mention this before. I showed you one before. Here is one for the original Legend of Zeldas. This is the Link from Link 1 and 2. Or Zelda 1 and 2, I should say. God. Come on. There we go. I actually really miss this design. I think I wish that they would go back to this kind of more simplified Link design sometimes. I know that there's outfits for it in the Breath of the Wild you can unlock. Actually, I'm going to take you off. There we go. So, take off the base so I can clean the base. Again, we got a base with the game name on it. This was it says the Hyrule Fantasy on it. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the camera. This is another one of the ultra detailed figures. A little bit of compare and contrast here as well. You can we've got these two links. You can kind of compare them a little bit. Different generations, but they share some similarities. One difference is that they have different color underwear. This link is orange, this link is green. But I love this figure. I actually really love it. This is the kind of thing I want to see more of. I want to see from more older games. I want to see from more obscure games. He's just a baby. Yeah, I know. He's very young in these games as well. But yeah, I do love these old games as well. They have a lot of charm to them. I think a big part actually of why Breath of the Wild, if I'm going to carry on jerking off Breath of the Wild, why it's so good is because it takes a lot of inspiration from the original game. And I think it does it very well. Got some peach. This is the thing. I don't have as many peaches as I want because, and you'll be shocked to hear this, figures of female characters are rarer and worse. So there aren't a lot of good peaches. This is one of them. Now this one is actually pretty cheaply made, and you can see that because if you look on the front, it looks lovely in pink. Got that lovely pink color. If you look on the back, is she ever miscolored? Look how it's all falling off on the umbrella and on her back there. But this model is very good. This is a very cheap, I think it's just very cheap plastic paint. But her face looks great on this one, which is often something that doesn't look good on Peach models. They really phone it in on her face a lot of the time. There you go. But she looks good. She looks really good. And there's a lot of like nice little detail on this as well. I believe that this is a McDonald's toy, actually. Yes, it is. Which explains why the build quality is bad, but the actual mold is good. I don't have a lot more of them, but we're going to get to one more. And this is another toy. It had the red shell before. And this is a fun little toy. And I believe I got this from my siblings as well. I don't know if you can confirm that. But it's a kind of a working bomb. Again, the no. Again, the bomb design is sort of perfect. Like, you can't improve on this. It's a bomb with eyes and feet. It's perfect. I love him. We're getting pretty close. Let's do something a little bit different. This is another one that I got from my siblings, toy-wise. And this needs a big scrub, so let me do that first because we're going to want to see this. So this is one of those little magnet games. These were like really popular in the 90s, I remember, but this one is actually from 2018. It looks like that. It comes with like a little stylus. I'm not showing it. There we go. So the idea here is that you move these little magnets around inside. And you just kind of, I think you're just kind of supposed to do it like this. That one not having? Is that one not magnetized? Okay, maybe that one's just not magnetized. So you kind of move it. Oh, come on. I think you're meant to do it like this, so actually you can actually see it. But I can't do it because you won't be able to see it. But yeah, you move it around. It's really neat. I like this. I love the design on this. I love the pipes around it. It makes it look like Flappy Bird. And the stylus actually fits in around the back here, which is, it goes in really neatly like that. Which I like. This is a fun little thing. I like this. And it's like, it looks good on the shelf as well. So I really enjoyed that one. I might need to actually give it a little bit more of a scrub. Got a few more. Let's do something non-Mario related. And actually, let's do the best kind of toy that everyone agrees is the best kind of toy. It's Lego time, but it's not Super Mario Lego. It's Minecraft Lego. It's a little Steve. He's a little Stevie boy, and he's gonna get a nice little scrub as well. Steve with a parrot. I need to play more Minecraft again. Let me actually take the parrot off. Not really need to show this too much because it's just a basic Minecraft Lego thing. I need to play more Minecraft. It has been a while, and I need to buy more Legos. This one has a cool little thing as well. Got a cool little action, similar to the one we were showing before, but you've got a little lever on the back that lets you move your thingy around. Any Minecraft fans in the chat? Now put his parrot back on his head like that, and there he goes. Ooh. Another one that you don't get a lot of toys of, unfortunately, is Lakitu or Lakitu. I've never been 100% sure about what the correct way to say it is. But this one is very mucky, so we're gonna give him a little scrub. I've always, again, this is like such a good design. He's a geeky little turtle, flies on a cloud. It's fantastic. And this is a fairly well-made figure. It's just, oh no, you are very grotty. I don't know if I can get all this coloring on. He's very, you can see on his cloud in particular. He's a little bit of grot on him. I'm Minecrafted out at the moment, but I know I'll get back into it. Yeah, that's how it goes for me. I play it for like 2 months in a year or so. And then once I get back into it, then I'm like super into it for a while, and then I kind of burn out in it a little while. But I did get a Realms thing, and I was playing with some friends, and I kind of want to get back into that again. Someone who's been kind of underrepresented. Let's bring him in. It's our boy Yoshi. We've had a couple of Yoshis. I should say Yoshi is non-binary, so it's they. I think Yoshi is he, they. This is another kind of fairly standard figure, but I like it. It's good to see a good Yoshi. A little bit sloppy paint you can kind of see here on the side. Sort of. If I push that in a little bit. Oh, this really is bad. There you go. You can kind of see on the side of his face there. It's not perfect, but it's not a bad figure at all. I quite enjoy it. Where is this from? 2007? Made in China. Yes, they're all going to be made in China probably. Didn't say the manufacturing date. I can't remember where I got that from. This one I did buy in Sweden. I believe. Or maybe I got this one. But I think it's from a charity shop in Sweden. Now this one is a good example because I mentioned before that there are a couple of these figures that are very good, that they are made in such a way that they look good from basically any angle. This is a good example of where that's not the case, because this is clearly made to be looked at from a side view angle like this. You're meant to have it exactly like this. And like this, it looks fine, I would say. It does not look good from the front because those eyes are not great. And then he has those big old screw holes in the other side. Now this one is a bit of a mystery because this is also a Happy Meal toy. And I don't know what the function on this is. We figured out that the function on the other one is probably that he was meant to be waving. But this one has a little bit of a thing where you can rotate. However, it does nothing. I don't know if there's like a thing missing, but I don't know what would be even... what it would even affect. There's no moving parts on this whole model. But it's got like a whole spinny thing. And... here on the back, it has something that looks like maybe something attaches here. But what does it do? I have no idea. We're kind of running low. We've got a couple more. Let's do one of the slightly bigger ones again. This is one of the cooler ones that I've got. Because this is a pretty good model. First and foremost, let me actually give him a little bit of our dust. Yeah, maybe if you can go. I don't know why that didn't even cross my mind that I could do that. But this is a pretty good model. But primarily, this is a lamp. You can't really see it now because it's very bright in here. But you can see that he kind of turns on. If I slam him down, And it's actually not a bad USB light. He's running on batteries right now, and I usually keep him on batteries. But he does have a little USB jack, so you could technically leave him plugged in, and then you'll just kind of hit him to bring him on. Doesn't look too bad. I like this one a lot. I've actually got this one in the shelf next to my computer. So yeah, I really like this one. I'll make sure that I've got him properly. Actually needed a little bit more of a scrub than I gave him. Curb is non-binary too. Yes, correct. Well, the funny thing about all the links is that all of the links are trans in different ways. Oh, never Bob-omb. Let's do it. This is a non-moving Bob-omb, but he looks almost exactly the same. Which means that he's very easy to clean. But you can actually spin the thing, it just won't do anything. If you can, it doesn't do it. It's just a nice, beautiful little Bob-omb boy. Let me see, which one was I? Let's do another Odyssey one. This one is kind of a bigger version of the one I was did before, but it also has the articulation. So this has a similar articulation to the other model that I showed earlier, but it's actually not as good. It's a little bit creakier, but you can pose him in some pretty decent ways. He has that kind of more textured look to his hair and his clothes. On the whole, I like this one. And you have a cappy come along, so you can either put the cappy on his head, kind of. It won't really fit, and only you can actually like attach it to his head. But you also can't really attach it to his finger, which is annoying. So I usually just kind of like sort of put cappy on there, but then he easily falls off, which is a bit annoying. I wish he was better attached to the figure in some way. Yeah, you're looking okay, and then you need to be. I like Cappy. I hope that they reuse Cappy in some fashion. It would be cool if they brought back a lot of those side characters, like Flood as well. I always thought Flood was underrated. Right, let's burn through a couple of these now. Here's a really cheap one. This is from the same set as the Fire Mario from before, because you can tell the model isn't fantastic. Hardly any detail on it. The painting isn't fantastic. It's a decent model, but there's nothing to write home about. Get all your gunk off. There we go. We got a Mario Kart one. This is a actual spinny one. It doesn't have any. You just do it like that. I think this is actually for one of the Mario Kart sets. I think this is like a Hot Wheels one. Yes, it is. It is a Hot Wheels one. But it's very well made. It's nice. It's got nice, smooth wheel action, which is all good. That's what you want from one of these. It looks better at a distance than it does from a thing, but it's got nice heavy build quality, which I like. It's all good. Another car one. This is it's not a Lego. I can't remember what it's called. Nox. This is called. It's kind of like a Lego-y type thing. Very similar, but it's sort of a Lego knockoff. Before Mario became actually Lego, and this one also runs. I got this one from a colleague at my old job for like a Secret Santa thing. I was very pleased. It was a lovely gift. I do hope that this is interesting in some way. If you're lurking and watching this, I want to say thank you to everyone in chat, obviously. But also a big thank to everyone who's lurking and watching this, because this is the fact that you choose to spend your time with me doing this means a hell of a lot to me. So thank you so much. This one is annoying to clean. Can you stop it, Ralph? Ralph, that's not a toy. Well, it is, but Another very cheap one. This is from the same set as the other two that I wasn't too jazzed about, so I'm not really gonna give him too much attention. He's fine. He's fine. He fills out, he rounds out the cast, so to speak. Got a couple of decent ones. This one I got from one of those puzzle boxes. Like, you know, the don't know if you're familiar with these, but there's like a little cube, and it's like one of those little mazes. You have like a little marble, and you kind of guide it around in 3 dimensions around this maze that goes around all the sides of this cube. And when you get it to the end, you can open it up, and there's a little thing inside. And this thing was inside one of those. Can you guys please? Wasn't really worth it because I bought it just for the figure inside. It's just a very standard Mario one, and I'm actually going to show you just how standard it is in a bit. But it's decent. Problem with this one is though that it doesn't actually stand up in any way. It has no stand. You can just kind of he can only lie down, even though he's jumping. The reason for that will become evident very shortly. But it's fine. I wasted a lot of money on buying that thing for a kind of cheapy figure. Here's another Peach. This is a smaller one, but this is another clip thing. This face is not amazing, I don't think, but it is a nice figure still, and I will happily take all the Peach ones I can get because there aren't a ton of them. I wish there were more. I wish there were more Daisy ones as well. I always like Daisy. Can never get the Daisy or the Rosalina amiibos, unfortunately. Hello, Ralph. Do you want to come in on this? Do you want to come in front of the camera? Hello. Hello. Do you want to get comfortable? Please don't get too comfortable here. Baby. Come on. If you're gonna be here, I'm gonna give you cuddles. Alright, you can stay. You can stay. Alright, so you're looking pretty good. Yeah. Another one. Let's do this one. This one I got fairly recently, and this is another gift. It's another Luigi's Mansion one. It's got... Oh, sorry. God, this is a Burger King toy, actually. This isn't a McDonald's toy, it's a Burger King toy. And it's got... What I like about this one is that it's got a determined Luigi. The Luigi's Mansion ones are usually him being very scared. But he's got like a determined face on this one, which I like. And also, this is a... Sorry. It's a little whistle. I didn't mean to spook you. Let's do a couple of small ones. First off, we got a little Goomba. Again, perfect design, no notes. It seems like the Yoshi toy is supposed to come with a paper ribbon with Yoshi eggs printed on it that you can pull from the back, so it looks like he's laying them. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds pretty cool. That's cooler than waving. And then just a little mushroom. This came with another figure. I don't actually know which figure this came with. But it was part of a set with one of the other ones. I think it might have been one that I'm going to show next. Gonna give you a big scrub. And then another one that came with a figure, which was this star. They were like accessories to some of the other figures I bought. But I think the star came with this figure, which is again almost identical to the previous articulated model, except it has that kind of pearlescent luster, which you kind of can't even see because it's so bright in here. But it has like a pearlescent sheen, which is meant to it's meant to be the sparkly, shiny kind of thing you get when you pick up the star. And I just like it because I like pearlescent stuff. Kind of see. It looks beautiful. I think that looks gorgeous. The beautiful boy. It's very pretty, yeah. And I like that this one you can move him around. Oh, baby. Only got a couple left now. Here's one that's not even Nintendo related, but I store them with the same stuff. It's my Baymax. I'm just gonna give him a quick look. He's also, sadly, he's also miscolored a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but he's sort of getting green on his side. I do love Baymax. One of my favorite Disney characters, probably. Now we only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, 9. We can do one of these. So let's do a big one. This is another one of my favorites. And I showed this off in a very recent stream, so you might have seen him already, but it's my DS holder. And he is very mucky. I'm going to need a little bit of juice on him. This is one of my favorites because I like the mold on this. I love the build quality on this. It's using the more cartoony render or model, which I don't mind at all. Slightly off proportion actually. His proportions aren't fantastic on this, but for some reason I don't mind it. He looks really good. And I also like the fact that I used to be able to use him as my phone holder because his span here, which is right for my phone, is meant to be for a DS Lite. Or is it for a 3DS? I don't actually remember. But this one, he's got good cake on this. You can see he's very, very strongly molded cake on him. Love to see it. But overall, I like this one. I think it's a nice and robust figure that has some utility as well. Nowadays, the phone I have now is a little bit too big to go there. Oh, you need more. You need even more on your base. The base is broken. I mentioned this in an earlier one where Ralph, he used to be on my desk. Where Ralph knocked him down, he fell, and the base broke. So you can see that. There he goes. He's gone. Yeah, individual butt cheeks. They made sure to render those in loving detail. Some of my other ones have individual butt cheeks. I just haven't shown them. I didn't want to be point that out too much. But yeah, like they properly gave him real Pixar mom ass there. You are looking pretty good. I think I'm gonna leave you. Actually, your armpits not looking too great. Let's do that. But yes, I like that one. It's nice and robust and very well done. Gosh, it's getting to a lot here. I need to. Got a couple left. So these, let's do 2 more Happy Meal ones. These are a bit more basic. I got these in a charity shop. These are from 2013 in the same series. We'll do them at the same time. Mario and Luigi. I got these both from a very local charity shop. Nothing special about these. These aren't toys really. These are just for show. They're not fantastic, but I like that they're both. I don't know. I couldn't even really tell you why I like them. They're just good. The one thing that annoys me about the Luigi one is that he has this kind of, if you can see there between his legs, he has like a little bit of plastic keeping his legs together. But the Mario one doesn't. So I don't know why they added it for the Luigi one. You can see. They don't have soles on their shoes, which isn't great. And they have a big screw in the back. But I don't know, for some reason I like this. I think just because I got them so cheaply. I think these were 20p each. So they were hardly anything. Hello, Ralph. Hi. Knocking that over. Baby. Oh, baby. Oh, your food. You've both eaten your food already. Gosh. We fed you right before I started. Oh, we're running low now. Only a few to go. Okay, so I've got a couple of my favorites left. So let's do. We've had a few Luigi's Mansion ones, but this is another one from the UDL series. So you can see he has lovely bit of detail. Why are all the Luigi's Mansions ones so good? Actually, all the ones I have, I love. But this is a gorgeous figure. A lot of detail again on his back here. Yes, the cats are being very... And it's another example of the Butch of stand. This is specifically Luigi's Mansion 2. Get you all of your gunk off. There we go. Looking much better. And up it goes. We got one more from this series to go. I'll leave him for a little bit. Go up your ass. Up your ass. There we go. Fix into place. Last Peach one. This is, I believe, another McDonald's toy. Yes, it is. Bit of a weird one, this. I like the Peach on this one. It's better than the other one. For sure. Especially from the face. Has a little stand, which is actually... This one also has wheels. So the fall here is that you would roll this and she spins around. So you would kind of go like this. Which doesn't really work because this is a tablecloth. Yeah, we were together when I got this. But I like this figure a lot because it's a nice figure apart from the the horrible screws in the back, which I'll show you there. But the figure itself is really good. I like the background. You have this kind of shifty background. It's like slightly animated. You can kind of just about see how the coins and the question block is animated. And on the back here, it's got nice little icons molded into like a relief thing. I think a good one. Let's do a little bit of comparison. We're now going to show you the smallest figure that I have. We'll start off with that, which is this one. This is also almost a perfect version of a render with a fire flower. Can you please? That is just going to be really difficult. There we go. The Mario's sort of leaning over. And this one has, for as small as this is, so much good detail here. So if I think particularly you can see on his glove here, if I can get this to work. If I can get you to show it. Come on. It's so hard. You can just about see that on his glove, like it's got like individual molding lines on it, and on his clothes as well. It's just a really well detailed figure for how small it is. It's very, I'll give you just like a size comparison. So that compared to like a standard size one, you can see how much smaller it is. But it's very well made. This one I've just got to be a little bit careful with when I clean it because it actually broke and I've stuck him on with blue tack. I'll be very gentle when I'm giving him a scrub so blue tack won't come off, which I think actually will do anyway. Fireflower, actually, yeah, he just came right off. But yeah, you can see him there on his own. He looks really good. He looks really, really good for how tiny this figure is. Can you please? There we go. There we go. Look at him. He's so cute. Shows the ass. Hello, Joe. How are you doing? Stop calling me. I didn't mean to show the ass. I was showing the glove. Good lord. Yeah, I'm going to put you here because I don't want you to. Another one that has to be stuck on with blue tack is the last UDL. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I was going to do the comparison. So that was the smallest one. Here's the biggest one. I can't even fit him into frame. So let's do a little size comparison. Tiny boy, big boy. And this one, what I've done here, I'll show you that separately. But this is a really big one. And to be fair, this one was not very expensive. I got him on a sale on the official Nintendo store. I think I paid £25 for him. I give you... You need a big scrub, especially your hat. So... say 6'2". Mario is not that tall. That would be like almost twice his canonical size. He's just, I think, if I remember correctly, I believe his canonical size is about 4'11", something like that. He's a short king. He's like Columbo. He's a short king. I hope you enjoy having a special interest where it's easy to find merchandise, and the merchandise doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Yeah, I think that's part of why this was the collection I started to get into. It is a hell of a lot easier than a lot of stuff. Although the variety is kind of lacking, which is a shame. I would have kind of shown this. Like, a lot of these are very similar, unfortunately. This is so mucky. Gosh, I'm going to need to spend a little bit of time on this, I think. Not Godzilla. Yeah, I am. Every day of my life, I thank goodness that I'm not a Godzilla fan, because that seems to be a headache and a half. Oh, gosh, your hands are so filthy. They're kind of coming. Now, even despite this being so big, this one actually does have some articulation as well. You can see I'm moving I can move the arms, you can spin the hands, and you can do this weird kind of like movement of the legs, but you can sort of kind of rotate them a little bit. They don't like move all the way around, just a little bit odd. That hand is looking much better. I'll move to the other one. Yeah, it was very cheap, and that was part of why I bought it as well. I would not have spent a lot of money on it otherwise, but it was very cheap for what it is. And he's very well made. He's lasted a long time. Oh, God, I'm going to put that right on you. Come on. Gosh, it's so grutty. I'm going to get as much of this as I can without special implements. Yeah, we love a short king on this. What are your kind of... I'm curious now, because we've been talking all about my collection, obviously. Do you guys have collections that you do, or like stuff that you especially like, that is like your thing, as it were? Then I'd love to see, actually. You know what? If you're in the Discord, fucking put pictures in if you want to. If you want to share some pictures of your collections and stuff, love to see it. Let's share all this shit that makes us happy. God, your shoes as well. Your shoes are also grotty. But we're gonna take care of that. Boys, can you stop fighting? Just off camera. This is also Jax, actually. It says here, manufactured by Jax in Santa Monica. When was this released? 2014, so this is pretty recent. I would have bought it probably 2016, maybe. So it was a couple of years old when I did. But it was still relatively recent. Right, so what I've done here is, because I've got a necklace that I've added to him, and if you might recognize this as an exact version of the thing that I found in that puzzle box. And that will be the reason why that one can't stand up. Because it's not meant to stand up, it's meant to have a chain attached to it, as you can see. So they literally just reused the model that they had lying around, presumably. And I've just put it so that Mario wears himself as a necklace. So, a Gamer's Collection, yes, I've seen that one, it's brilliant. A lot of really nice stuff in that. Now we only have 2 left. I'm going to save probably one of my favorites to last. And this is the last UDL that we got. It's a Fire Mario. and it's from New Super Mario Bros. U specifically. Very good recreation of that render. He's, oh baby, he's also stuck on with blue tack because he's also meant to go be stuck through his ass, but the you can see here the little spike that he's meant to attach to came off, so I've had to attach him with blue tack. And I'm gonna clean the fireball as well. Baby, can you stop being so wound up about nothing? I know stuff is moving around in a way that you don't like. But really good Mario figure again. The UDL ones. Fan-fucking-tastic. The ones I want to get more of is that there is a... I believe, and I might get this wrong, but I believe they're called furta, which is basically like Japanese Kinder Eggs, where they have had several different Mario series with some really cool figures in them. Primarily, they did one which was figures from the Mario Sports games. I believe specifically from Mario Sports Mix. And there are no other, to my knowledge, there are no other Mario Sports ones. And the reason I bring up Furta is because the last figure that I'm going to show you today is from the Odyssey set of the Furta Eggs toys. And this is one of my favorites, and if you're a regular on the channel, you've seen it a million times. But it is my boy in shorts. And I do want you to be able to see him. And this actually is one of the most expensive figures that I own, because this is effectively they're blind bags. Yeah, you buy them in, you buy an egg and you go out a figure in, and you have no idea which one you're gonna get. And this one was the rarest version of that particular set. Babies, can you please stop fighting? But I really wanted it. It showed up on eBay for about £30. And I thought if I don't get him now, I'm never ever gonna get him. So I'm gonna see if I can give you a proper show off of him. Fuck. They're very well made, these ones. For something that you get in a Kinder Egg, really well done. They're really, really well done. And I'm gonna give him a gentle little clean. He's so cute. I know, he's so, so cute. And again, final one. All up his butt. But yes, I love this one. I'm very happy that I got him. He's very difficult to find even now. They rarely pop up on eBay. But yes, I believe that is the whole collection cleaned and done. I think I might have to go back to some of the amiibos. But if I just kind of show you here, there they all are. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I'll just move this up a little bit. I'm gonna reset the camera position for this. That's it. It's all done. I'm now gonna pop these back. I'm actually gonna clean my shelf where I keep them all, which is right behind me. It's right behind the screen that I normally use. We've been going. It took almost exactly 2 hours. I'm pretty pleased with that. I guess it was gonna take about 2 hours. I'm gonna have another drink, so I'm very tired. I've talked a lot this drink. So I'm going to clean that shelf and I'm going to put them all back. I'm going to have to organize them again because they all kind of go in a very specific order so you can see them. I'll take a picture. Once I'm done, I'll post it in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can hit !Discord. You'll get the link, but I think everyone who's in the chat right now already part of it. So I'm gonna... I think... Is there any final thoughts, everyone? Did you enjoy this? It would be cool to do more just chatting streams. I don't really know what I would do them on, if anyone has any ideas. But it's just kind of want to try new stuff on the stream. It's been so great to have you all in. You have anything you want to say before we kind of get ready to leave? I'm gonna put my boy up here. We'll kind of... And all the stream. Tons of fun. Thank you so much. Take a photo shot. Yes, I will do. I'll take a photo of the whole thing. And please, if you want to share your collections, if you have, it doesn't matter if they're big or small, doesn't matter what it's on. You know, if you're collecting, I don't know what, Magic cards or Yu-Gi-Oh or train sets or whatever, it'd be cool for everyone to share their special interests. But I do want to say a huge thank you to and have you have a good day, you a good Saturday too, Cutie. I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who joined. I'm gonna now actually take you with me, bring you back to someone. So someone needs to smoke. Wendy Harper's going. She's the only one going. So let's. Volume is going because the microphone is over there. I'll move you. Hello. Move it all back. I'll have to sort this all out at some point. So please say hello to Wendy from me. She's playing some video game music right now. You can request songs and everything, so it's really cool. I love her streams. I'll listen to that while I'm getting everything else set up. Shut up. So thank you all so much for watching this. I was really glad that I could share this with you. I'll do a little bonus actually, because this is another one that I have to clean beforehand. But here's one of my other figures. It's my big Tinkerbell figure, which is the most dangerous thing that I own, probably, because this is the sharpest toy in the world. Every single point on this toy you could cut paper with. This, and even the bit on her hair that sticks up here, and her fingers, and her dress, all of this will slice meat, I'm sure of. It's very dangerous. That'll be the last little thing that I'll show you today. But yes, please go and say hello to Wendy. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your weekend. I'll be back next week with more stuff. We're going to finish off Cloud Point. We're going to finish off Epistory. It's going to be more stuff. Bye, everyone.